I'm Howie Scarborough. I'm the CEO of Fall Protection Distributors, and we've recently put out a blog discussing Euroclad standing seam roof systems and the correct fall protection systems that should be used on those panels to protect both the roof systems and the workers. So if you're a contractor with an upcoming project on a Euroclad roof, this would be some great information to study. So if you go down through this blog, which is available on our website, you'll see we go into depth into each one of their standing seam systems. A lot of insulated panels, but if you scroll down through here, you can quickly identify which panel you might be working on. That's helpful as you drop down. In any one of these panel sections, there's a link that says Roof Anchor Compatibility Chart. If you'll just click that, it hyperlinks you down to the bottom of the blog to our quick reference chart. So as you can see, the products we're going to discuss are down the left column, and the different panels are across the top. So once you've identified your panel, it's easy to tell this equipment is seam mounted, and the Ridge Pro down here at the bottom that we're going to discuss, this is not seam mounted. So whenever you see panels that say no, that means they're not compatible with seam mounted equipment. Several of these are aluminum panels. Some of them are not the correct gauge. But anyhow, so let's talk about the product. So the SSRA1, this is a seam-mounted anchor point for a single worker. What's special about this, though, is that it has a removable D-ring on top. So you can mount this onto a seam. You want to be 6 feet away from any fall hazards. If you're on 22 gauge steel, you're going to be torquing to 90 inch-pounds using our cup tip set screws. And if you're on 24 gauge steel, you're going to torque from 180 to 200 inch-pounds. And you're going to be using our nylon tip set screws. It has a soft nylon bushing in the tip for a softer bite on that little bit lighter metal. The 24 gauge is lighter than 22 gauge. So once you've determined which panel you have, and now you know you have an anchor point that is compatible with that seam, you have a single worker tie-off. Once you remove the D-ring, you can start to add adapter plates. So the first adapter plate that we have is an SSRA2 roof jack adapter. And that does just what it says. That enables you to deploy 10-foot wooden walkboards onto standing seam roofs with no penetrations. So you would mount two SSRA1s on seams about 8 feet apart. And then you would mount two SSRA2 roof jack adapters on top of those. They bolt on with 2 top bolts. Those are roof pitch adjustable as well as seam height adjustable. So they're very versatile. And that gives you a nice level walking surface on steep, slippery roofs. If you need a temporary 100-foot horizontal lifeline, you can mount two SSRA1s on seams next to each other, and these seams can be between 12 and 24 inches wide. Then you can mount an SSRA3 Anchor Plate on top of two SSRA1s that are mounted on seams. So as you can see the grooves on the top of the SSRA3 plate, that allows that adjustment of the panel width. So that assembly of 2 anchors and an anchor plate, that would be at each end of a 100-foot horizontal lifeline. So we do sell a kit that has 4 SSRA1 anchors, 2 SSRA3 anchor plates, and it also includes a 100-foot temporary horizontal lifeline. That is a 4-person horizontal lifeline, but when you're on a standing seam roof, we limit that to 2 workers. Now, we also recommend that along that line, wherever the work areas will be, we recommend that you mount some additional SSRA1 anchors on a seam below the line above the work area. So once the worker arrives at the work area, he can clip off the line and onto a fixed anchor point, and then descend down the roof to the work area. He can lean against his rope. He'll have fall protection, and then that way he's not tying up that travel line for other workers. We also offer a 120-foot permanent horizontal lifeline. That's a super anchor kit that is intended for standing seam roofs. It uses non-penetrating clamps, an aluminum base plate, 5-inch riser posts, and that includes 120 feet of galvanized steel cable. That's available on the website as well. Now, if you are dealing with one of the panels that are marked no, it can also be a roof that's not metal. It could be shingle roof, TPO, but as long as it's 612 to 1212 pitch, it's a pretty good chance the Ridge Pro is going to work on it. So the Ridge Pro is like a ladder hook, except it mounts on the end of a lightweight 16-foot pole. You simply run it up the roof from the ladder, you flip it over the peak, and you've now locked a vertical lifeline over the peak of the roof. So as soon as the worker steps from the ladder to the roof, he's already tied off. So it's a great first man up system. It's good for roof inspections, insurance adjusters, Christmas light installers. Those guys buy these Ridge Pros like crazy. So if you have any questions about any of these products we discussed or any of these panels, or you're having trouble identifying what panel you have, give us a call. Our phone number is at the top of the website. You can email us at support@fallpd.com, or you can click this little blue circle in the bottom right corner of the website, and that's our live chat. Just let us know how we can help you.